On this episode of Exploring South African Wines, I head to the district of Franschhoek, which has retained its distinct French Huguenot character. The fertile Franschhoek Wine Valley is home to some of South Africa's noble cultivars and classic styles. These range from superb whites such as Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, Semillon and Chenin Blanc, to the full-bodied reds of Cabernet Sauvignon, Shiraz, Pinot Noir and Merlot. The area also produces some of the country's most extraordinary Method Cap classics. We kicked off our expedition with a visit to Grand Provence. Grand Provence Heritage Wine Estate is the home of the award-winning Grand Provence wines and the Angel's Tears Lifestyle Collection. We started with a visit to the winery where we saw some harvested grapes being sorted and ready to be destemmed and crushed. From there, we went straight for the kiln to taste the distinctive Grand Provence vintages which reflect the passion and enthusiasm of its winemaking team.
So it's a destination. We offer accommodation, our restaurant, we have a bistro, the tasting room, and with all that we offer, the wine must also be exactly that. We must offer wine for everyone to be able to enjoy. And the Angel Tears definitely tick the box for everyday drinking, the premium range for more selective, to have with selective friends, I would say. And then the flagship wine, that's for me, that I would always say there's just stingy wine, you know. That's only the selected wines that you would like.
Next stop was Black Elephant Vintners, sometimes called the misfits of the wine industry and the rebels of the vine.
Okay, hi, I'm Kevin Swart from Black Elephant Vintners. We're situated in South Africa in a little town called Franschhoek, a very beautiful part of the country. We are a little boutique winery. There's 3 of us involved. My surname's Swart, which is black. My business partner is Raymond Ndlovu, and Ndlovu is elephant in Zulu, and then Jacques, the winemaker, is a vintner, so the Black Elephant Vintners. We do MCCs, our South African version or African version of champagne. We do a couple of fun party wines. We do some terroir specific, kind of story specific wines in small, limited runs that all have a reason where they come from and why, for the wine enthusiast from that point of view. And then we don't come from a traditional wine background, so we didn't know what we weren't supposed to do. So we just came along and did the stuff that really excites us. We do music and wine pairing. My brothers are musicians, so there's music in the family. And we started off as a tribute to my father, playing Amazing Grace to the Cabernet Sauvignon, and then that just spread out. So when you do a tasting here, you kind of take you on a journey. It's a little bit more like theatre than eating in a restaurant. It's a little bit more like theatre from that point of view. And everything's got its own, and we change the music and we can adapt the music to different genres, jazz, R&B, rock. We got our first cans in December of 2019. It's brand new technology that's available in South Africa. It's been around a bit in the US. The younger generation are very keen on this. This is something you can take to festivals, to sports events. So it's quite a nice size serving. It's a proper glass of wine that you can have. You can have a Sauvignon Blanc, then you can switch to a Pinot Noir, you can have a Rosé. You don't have to finish the bottle, drink the same wine.
Black Elephant Vintners push the boundaries of conformity. Their wines are young and vibrant, a real toast to the celebration of life. Our next stop was Haute Cabaret, which has found a special place in the heart of South African wine lovers since its inception. Haute Cabaret has been creating wines from Burgundian cultivars for over 2 decades.
My name is Takran Fernanum. I'm the wine director of Haute Cabaret, second generation. My father started off in '81. I joined the company around 2004, and I'm now proudly running the cellar and producing the great wines that we love to grow on the farm. Classically, well, we started off focusing on Methyl Cape Classique, which is the same style as Champagne, but respectively we call it Methyl Cape Classique today. And in those wines we only use Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. Those are the grape varieties we've got here. We got our own farm. We do buy in some grapes, but from good friends from the area. Well, over here, in Haute Cabernet, we're proud to be one of the first in South Africa, or the first in South Africa, to have an underground cellar built into the side of the mountain. Protects us from the heat. It's cultural. It's got a rich architecture, and it's a beautiful place to visit. Well, the most important thing is stability, but we try and keep our cellars around 15 degrees, which is good. Any colder becomes a bit of a problem for the staff, and you also don't want much colder than that, but around 15 is perfect.
Great.
The most important thing is continuity, so it doesn't go to 20 and then down to
12. Sir Richard Branson's Montrochelle Wine and Vineyards was our next stop. It cultivates and nurtures various grape varieties including Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, Shiraz and Cabernet Sauvignon, among a few others that are used for blending purposes to add complexity.
Little Rock Blanc, which is our lifestyle range wine. Okay, we're on the 2019 vintage at the moment, and I'll explain each wine as we're tasting them. Then we'll go on to the Sauvignon Blanc 2019, and then on to the Chardonnay 2019, and we'll finish off with the Miko Chardonnay 2016, which is our premium range. So we've got 3 different tiers. It's our lifestyle range, the Montrochelle range, which is our state range, and then the Miko, which is our premium range. In South Africa, in order to call it a Sauvignon Blanc, I need to be a minimum of 85% of that cultivar. As soon as it was 84% Sauvignon, it would have been a white blend. I wouldn't have been able to call it Sauvignon. So we can do that with cultivar, and we can do that with vintage. So in some years you can blend an older or a younger vintage in, but only 15%. As soon as you go over that, it becomes a non-vintage wine. So that's a vintage wine. One thing you'll see about all of our wines, if you look on the back label, everything is wine of origin Franschhoek. So all of my fruit is coming solely from Franschhoek, and more specifically moving forward, only from the farm.
After tasting these magnificent wines, we went into the cellars of Montrochelle, where we tasted wines in barrels at various stages to our amusement. We had a fantastic time here. Got to taste some of the wine, at various stages. This is actually my second time doing something like this, but this time I think I was able to taste it at 3 different stages, so it's really interesting. Holdenmans, an exclusive grower of red grapes, was our final stop. Holdenmans Wine Estate only cultivates its top 16 hectares under the vineyards, notably Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Shiraz and Merlot.
So we do a champagne press. That is a 3-hour press. Now, most press cycles last 50 minutes now. But the 3 hours, you get the skin contact without fermentation. The mentality behind that is to extract some of the color from the skins without any tannins or phenolics. Because the second fermentation touches the skins, phenolics and tannins gets extracted.
After tasting some of Holdenmans' iconic gems such as Big G and The Good Spot, we knew we could say cheers to a wonderful experience of Franschhoek. Thank you, Westbro.
First of all, thank you, Westbro, putting Africa first. Thank you very much for that.
Go Westbro, go Westbro,
Cheers to that.
go Westbro, go Westbro.
Cheers, 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 cheers.